Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming forward. I'd like to introduce the National President of AFGE, Government Employees, representing 803,000, Dr. Everett Kelly.
Good evening, brothers and sisters.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, brother.
I want to say to you that I come representing 820,000 federal and DC government employees. And I come tonight not to bring shame to our brother, but we come tonight to remember him, Brother Alex Pretti, who was shot down for no reason whatsoever. He was shot down being who he was, knowing that he was an intensive care nurse. He take care of people. And the very final act of his life told us exactly who he was. He was one that takes care of people, because in that very moment, he leaned over to make sure that someone else was okay.
Yeah.
He lost his life taking care of his fellow man or woman. Now, I'm a firm believer that good deeds come back around. But I also believe that you reap what you sow.
Amen.
I do believe that this work that Alex has been doing is God's work.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that what we do as a union is God's work, because we take care of those that cannot take care of themselves. I remember in Matthew chapter 25, there was a question asked, when have I seen you hungry and I didn't feed you? When have I seen you clothed and naked and I didn't clothe you? And the answer was, if you've done it to the least of these, my brethren, you've done it unto me. I do believe the work that we do is God's work.
Yeah. Amen.
This community, I want you to know that AFGE stands with you. And I know we have an opportunity to be angry, but should we be angry? We have the opportunity. But let's make good of the life that Alex lived. He set an example for all of us, that no matter what the circumstance, we can do what's right. No matter the situation, we can do what's right. We can always lend a helping hand. We can always say to our brother or our sister, can I help you? Yeah. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you, I believe that there needs to be a reckoning and a revival in this land.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to quote 2 Chronicles 7:14, and it's a promise. It says, if my people, which are called by my name, and these people professing to be believers, yet they can turn their back on people in need.
Wow.
But if my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked way, then I will hear from heaven, I will heal the land, forgive their sins. This land need a healing, brothers and sisters. This land need a reckoning. This land, we as a people have the power. I want to tell you that we here in this community can make a change. Are you ready to make a change? Let's make a change. It's time for us to stand up and stand for what's right. Guess what? We don't have to be militant, but we have to be consistent. Consistent in what we believe. Consistent every day, standing up for Alex every day, telling the world that we're not going to back down. We're going to continue until justice has been done. You know, I'm here and I'm hurt. But I thank God for this community that have come together to recognize the services that this brother Alex has rendered to not just this community, but to this country. I'm grateful for his leader, Brother Jacob Roman, who is the president of the local union here, 3669, who has been awesome in making sure that this brother's name does not go out in vain. We need to give a round of applause for this local. And if there's ever been a time for us to stand together, that time is right now. Because the power is right here on these streets. Y'all hear what I said? Yeah. This is where the power is. The power is not in the wickedness in Washington, D.C. The power is right here. Yeah. Let me hear you say, we got the power. We got the power. We got the power. We will use our power. And we will avenge our brother. Because we will not stand back and allow his life to have lived in vain. A fellow brother, a patriot, a nurse, one that cares. And we have to demonstrate our care. Let us not just remember, but let us recommit. Recommit to be that same person that Alex was. One that cares for each other. The life that he lived before all of us. I've heard nothing but great things about this brother. And then to hear the lies, the mistruths on the news. It's a shame. Let me hear you say it's a shame. And let me tell you, it's the failed and flawed policies that has caused this. That's why, as the president of the American Federation of Government Employees, I have called for the resignation of Norms. I call for the resignation of Miller because the policies are flawed at best, and it continue to keep our people in the struggle. And we're not going to stand for it. Will y'all stand with us? Will you stand with us? Let's get the job done. I know we have so many that want to speak today, and rightfully so. So I'm not going to take a lot of time. I just want this community to know that I stand with them. Stand with you. And I love you. And God loves you too. We're so fortunate today to have with us the national president of the National VA Council, Miss M.J. Burke, who's been a champion. Come on, give a round of applause for her as she comes. Come on, M.J.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Everett. I'm going to be really, really quick. Because we really want to hear from these people behind us. That's our primary objective. Thank you for coming on 3669 and 1969. My name is MJ Burke. I'm the president of the National VA Council, and my job is really to coordinate the efforts of 170 VA locals representing who we say is 320,000 of the VA employees. And I think I need to say straight up, I did not know Alex Pretti personally, but I have been contacted by several of our locals who asked me to convey their sentiments, Jake, of solidarity. They are having vigils along with us tonight at their VA properties. And as fellow employees, they send the ICU people their warm thoughts in light of this tragedy. What I would like to comment, however, is that about 2 weeks ago, Alex did reach out to leadership to ask about the status of our National VA Union federal litigation. For those who may not know, the case centers around, strangely enough, free speech, separation of powers, and the right of federal employees to their constitutional freedoms without fear of reprisal. Listen, I'm a physical therapist, and I don't know much about constitutional law. But trust me, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately. The main thing I want to convey tonight is that I believe simply through his work with our veteran patient population, he deeply understood that freedom is not free. He understood the power behind Frederick Douglass' words. Power concedes nothing without a demand.
That's right.
You know Frederick Douglass, the good buddy of Abraham Lincoln. So remember, those who choose, like Alex did, to pay union dues, please know it is not about protecting exclusive right to VA jobs. It's now about protecting shared vision of the role of government in securing our rights, both as federal employees and to the Constitution of the United States. Alex parents said, "Let the world know he was kind." That's what they first contacted us about. Let the world know he is kind. Listen, I've been up here for 3 days. It seems like he was more than that. Not only has a new song by Bruce Springsteen, but he made one hell of a difference. Not only to his coworkers who are going to talk about him, but to the world. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I want to pause parenthetically and make a note. I want everybody to take this note in. Every individual that will speak tonight will either be speaking in their own individual capacity or in their union capacity, okay? I want everybody to understand that, because this administration has gone completely crazy, trying to intimidate people, trying to fire people, trying to, I mean, you just name it, and they're trying to do it. But I just want everyone to know that as they come, they're coming in their individual capacity or in a union capacity, okay? So before we have Jacob, who's the local president, come, we're going to have our Congresswoman to come. Come on, give a round of applause for our Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Okay?
Senator Klobuchar, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Everett. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, Roman. And mostly thank you. Thank you to Alex's coworkers, who you are about to hear from. I got to say that once again, Minnesota is at the center of America's heartbreak. But you know what else we are? We are at the center of America's courage and hope right now. 50,000 strong. I was at that march. We marched and said, "ICE out of Minnesota." And we did it. We did it for Alex and for Renee. We also did it for that little 5-year-old that just got home today from Texas, Leah. And for the 2-year-old who got sent, and then we got him back in the middle of the night, got her back. That's what's happening across our state right now. But what I respect here, Everett, about what you're listening to with union leaders is it just shows you right now that unions, when unions are strong, the economy's strong. When unions are strong, our rights are strong. And when unions are strong, America is strong. And that's what this is about. So let's talk about Alex. And you're going to hear from people that work with him every day. But this was a guy that, and his parents asked me to say this about a week ago, right after he was killed. They wanted everyone to know that he was so kind-hearted, and they wanted them to know that the lies told about him, calling him a domestic terrorist, were the most hurtful things that they could ever imagine be said about their son. Their son was a researcher early on, and he worked on research to help our veterans with Strep C, with doing things when it comes to exposure to toxics. He also then went on to join this incredible workforce of self-sacrifice to be on the front line for our workers, to be on the front line for our veterans, so that he believed in his heart that when a veteran needs health care, we think back, when they sign up to serve, there isn't a waiting line. And when they need good health care, when they're home in the United States of America, there should never be a waiting line in our country. So these workers are the ones who are those guardian angels. They are treating the patients with PTSD. They are treating, and I know you know what I mean, they are treating our veterans sometimes in the closing hours and the closing days of their lives. And you've all seen that video of Alex when he gave the last salute to that veteran. The kids of these veterans have been on TV. They've come forward and said how much Alex meant to their families, and that he treated every patient like it was his only patient. And I'm going to end with the words of one of his coworkers, maybe here, Caitlin, a doctor and a coworker of Alex's. And she said, Alex cared deeply for the veterans that we served. And he was, in her words, a patriot, because he cared so deeply for this country and for the values that everyone here shares, regardless of political affiliation. The last words of Alex, you all know it, was when he looked at a woman who'd been shoved down by border control agents, and he said, what did he say? Are you okay? And I think we have all asked ourselves that question over the last few weeks, and the answer isn't always yes. But in Alex's name, in his name and for what he stood for, we must get to a higher ground. We must continue to take this on. And in his name, we want to be able to say on behalf of our state and our country, when his memory and his vision and that guardian angel asked that question, are you okay? We want to be able to say proudly for this nation, because you stood up, yes. Okay. Let's thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much from Senator Klobuchar. We appreciate all the work that she do for all of us, okay? At this time, I want to introduce the local president of 3669 here in Minneapolis, Jacob Roman. Jacob, who was the president of Brother Alex, okay?
Thank you, President Kelly, and thank you, everybody, for coming. Alex, he was one of our coworkers. He was also a son, a brother, an ICU nurse, and a friend to many. As we gather here tonight, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and remembering Alex and honoring his memory. I also want to thank President Everett Kelly for being here, National VA Council President MJ Burke, District 8 National Vice President Rourke Hotop, our sisters and brothers from Local 1969, our Local 3669 members, and all the speakers and union members who helped put this together. Thank you so much. I didn't know Alex well, but I was lucky enough to be acquainted with him. I became acquainted with Alex in my role as local union president. He was a union brother whose presence left an impression on me. Alex would come to union events as much as he could on his lunch break, if he ever got one, because he cared about our collective bargaining rights. A few days before he was taken from us, I was fortunate enough to speak with him during an evening float shift to the ICU. I remember him saying, "Hey man, welcome." And the first thing he asked me was, "What's going on with the union?" If you work at the VA, you probably know it was not a surprise for me that he asked that question. Over the last year, there has been an attack on federal employees, including having our rights and our collective bargaining taken away. But that's how I remember Alex. He was an earnest man who cared about collective rights for his coworkers.
Right.
A genuine, caring, thoughtful, inclusive person. Those were only some of the words expressed to me in many interactions with coworkers and staff from around the hospital. I also heard stories from Alex's coworkers that worked closely with him. One coworker told me the story of when she first started and was put in an awkward position where no one seemed to want to train her on her first day. She told me Alex looked at her and said, "I'll precept you, let's go." No hesitation, no resentment, just an eagerness to teach. Another coworker who worked with Alex for many years had a long conversation with me and shared how much she missed him. She shared that While she thinks anyone in our healthcare facility would intervene to save someone's life, she was certain Alex would be one of the few that would do it again if it meant helping someone else. It's because he cared deeply about helping others, even if they didn't look, sound, or come from the same background as him, that made him special to those that knew him. In the face of injustice, Alex recognized that his neighbors and community are worth protecting. To honor Alex, I want us to remember our shared community, our shared struggles, and most importantly, our shared humanity. These big moments are going to happen. We cannot change that. It is what we do after that counts. Let's continue Alex's legacy by fighting for and defending our communities and for each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Jacob. Let us continue to pray for Jacob and for the co-workers there at the VA Medical Center. At this time, we are so fortunate to have a Congresswoman here, Congresswoman Kelly Morrison. At this time, she's going to come and share some words with us. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So honored to join you all tonight. It's a solemn and a sacred night to gather together here and remember Alex Pretti, to mourn his loss and to honor his incredible legacy. To everyone who worked beside Alex, who became a better nurse or doctor and learned from his mentorship, who are missing his calm presence amidst the challenges of the ICU, who are feeling the unspeakable grief of losing their beloved son, brother, co-worker, friend, and neighbor, I want you to know that my heart is with you. We are all reeling from the pain of the injustice of this senseless killing of one of our neighbors. You know, I did part of my medical training at a VA hospital, as more than 70% of American doctors do. So I know firsthand that no one works harder or cares more than nurses. And y'all treat most of the doctors pretty much all they know too. You know what I'm talking about. But VA nurses are particularly special. They are the backbone of the entire operation. They are fearless and they are compassionate and they care deeply. And that's what sounds like, and I didn't have the honor, but that sounds exactly who Alex was. Someone who dedicated his life and his career to being a caregiver, who answered the sacred call to serve our veterans, who was devoted to helping people heal. He was the best of us. And I believe that Alex will go down in history as a true American hero. Through his courage, his passionate commitment to caring for others, and until his literal last breath, always trying to do whatever he can to help and protect others. Alex's valiant efforts helped expose to our country and to the world what was happening here in Minnesota. The atrocities, the cruelty, the brutality, the lawlessness, the constitutional and civil rights violations. And Alex is part of a huge network of Minnesotans stepping up to care for and protect their neighbors. That's right. Yeah, Minnesota. In the face of unfathomable cruelty and indefensible lawlessness, Minnesotans are doing what we always do best. We're stepping up to protect our neighbors, we're speaking out for justice and equality, and we're standing up to tyranny with strength, dignity, and love. This administration is trying to break us down every single day with their cruelty and their division. But we are showing the world what it looks like to courageously and peacefully resist stand firm in our values, and never give up our kindness, our generosity, and our compassion for our neighbors. Exactly as Alex did. You know, Alex's sister said that he was one of those people who could light up every room that he walked into. His final nursing student reflected that too and said he carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. And I believe that Alex will continue to light the way for us now. And we must honor his life by choosing courage, taking care of one another, and carrying his light to create a kinder, stronger, more just, and more compassionate country. We will continue to fight for justice for Alex, to restore peace and dignity to our state, to get these lawless, reckless, lethal federal agents off our streets, and hold this administration accountable. This is a fight for our democracy, our civil rights, and our human decency, and I believe that we will prevail. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Give it up for our Congresswoman. All right. Now we have one of our co-workers of Alex here with us, Faith Roman. Faith, would you come, please? Faith, thank you.
Thank you for having this event. We need to get this story out, and so we're so grateful to have an audience for that. I am a colleague of Alex, and I just happen to have access to his file, which happened to indicate that he actually interviewed for an ICU position on February 1st, 2023, 3 years ago today. And he actually was able to start in the ICU 3 months later, which is a miracle because it doesn't happen that way fast now. But taking a look at his resume and getting to know how he got to nursing, he started with a Bachelor of Biology, Science, and Environment from the University of Minnesota. And he did a lot of lab science and researching, and then which connected him with a lot of great physician researchers throughout the VA. And then he indicated that the question was, so why nursing? And he indicated that there were some barriers, like setting up labs and barriers to grants and things like that. And so then he looked at nursing as the next best option. And so he got his associate degree at MCTC. And you know what his very first RN job at the VA was? COVID-19 clinic. That was March of 2021, and that was his first job. And then from there he went to 3L, which is a medicine unit, and spent that time until he came to the ICU in May of 2023. And so there are a lot of people that know him. He, days of low census in the unit, he goes out, and he is probably our best ambassador to the rest of the House, because he is so nice and friendly, and he makes connections with everyone that he works with. I can't say that for for the rest of the staff, but he makes us look good. And I can't really speak to necessarily the intimate conversations that happen during the shift. There are other great people that can do that. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that have sent wonderful messages of the connections he's made with patients, with family members, with other staff doing procedures in the unit that have taken a long time, to do, and his calm, compassion, presence, ability to do what needs to be done made a huge difference and certainly got their attention. So this has just been a horrible week this past week, and we've grieved a lot, and and I challenged myself to move on from grieving, but there have been wonderful opportunities to participate in different events, and I just saw Amy earlier today at the Orchestra Hall, and I do think that his legacy makes me want to go forward.
Yeah.
And that forward is I tell you, anybody I meet, instead of asking them how are you doing, because I hate that question right now, I am going to say, are you okay?
Oh, you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah. All right.
That's my legacy.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Okay, our next speaker is the People's AG. All right. I don't know if you all know, my organization has really been under attack by this administration. And when this gentleman, this Attorney General, read about it, thought about it, he was one of the first person to call me and said, Everett, we got your back here in Minnesota. And he didn't just say it, he made it become true because they filed lawsuits on our behalf, and guess what? They won too. Why? Because it's right. And we're going to continue to fight when it's right. So, Attorney General Keith Ellison. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Reverend President Kelly, because you're both. I want everyone to know that our dear beloved sister Tina Smith is under the weather tonight because there's nowhere else she would rather be than right here with you. But she's feeling a little ill, but send her a little love. But you know, the scripture says there is no greater love than this.
That's right.
He who lays his or her life down for his friends.
Wow.
No greater love than this.
No greater love.
He who lays his life down for his friends. And for a nurse, giving your all, giving your life is just a daily routine. Giving all that you have to help others be better is what nurses do every day. But Alex Pretti, not only did he give his life to the health of all, and everyone was his friend, at a critical moment when a woman was thrown to the ground, he gave his life then.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
I don't think he got up in the morning thinking that this was his last day.
That's right.
But he didn't lead his life in a way where he was constantly scared of his own welfare. He was more concerned about how he could help other people.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Yep. He was more concerned about what can I do to help you, not I'm worried about what's going to happen to me. I'm worried about what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And so when he saw that lady thrown to the ground, he could only do what he's always done.
Yeah.
He could only do what he has always done.
Yes.
Try to help.
Yeah.
And for that sacrificial act, he was shot down and killed. We all know.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yep.
But I just want you to know and to remember that when Alex was taken out of this realm of existence, it was an act of love.
Yes. Yes.
It was love that motivated him.
Yes,
it was
sir.
love that made him jump to help to that woman. It was love that made him get up and go to that hospital every single day.
Yeah.
He was animated by love.
Yeah.
And we must be animated by love.
Yeah.
And some of us need to just remember that this fight that we're in with our own federal government, which we pay taxes to, this fight that we're in is not going to be over short. And it's going to take all of us. It's going to take marching. It's going to take praying. It's going to take voting. It's going to take suing. It's going to take writing songs. It's going to take a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it's also going to take persistence, loved ones.
Yeah.
And I just want to leave you with a quick story that I think Alex could appreciate, and I know you can, Mr. President, Mr. Reverend. You all know the great Martin Luther King lost his life on April 4th, 1968. He was supporting striking sanitation workers.
That's right.
You should know that he was there to support striking sanitation workers who had been on strike and had been so ruthlessly treated by the segregationist leadership in Memphis that the workers had to carry a sign declaring, "I am a man."
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how ruthlessly their manhood was denied to them.
Yeah.
Their humanity was denied to them.
Yeah.
And so Martin Luther King went and marched with them, stood with them, prayed with them, and when he was lost to them, they understood something. And that is that the wicked forces in this world may take our heroes from us,
Yeah.
but we have to carry on. And those strikers in Memphis, Tennessee, Reverend, they didn't quit.
They didn't quit.
They kept marching, friends.
Yeah.
They kept marching, and they won that strike.
Yeah.
And you and I are going to win this strike. And from now, and we may lose loved ones, we may lose brave ones, we may lose people who show us and teach us love every single day, but we will not quit because it is in their memory that we march on in love.
Yeah.
So I love you,
Yeah.
and you love this nation,
Yeah.
and we're going to save it. God bless.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, we are very fortunate tonight to have with us the Lieutenant Governor of this great state, Peggy Flanagan, right here. Come on. Give it up for her. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you so much to my fellow Minnesotans for being here. Buju, Peggy Flanagan, addition cause, Gijuwebada Mokwe, and to go Guabagaga and Cognan Dunchaba, Mangan Dame. My name's Peggy Flanagan. My Ojibwe name is Speaks in a Loud and Clear Voice Woman. I'm a member of the White Earth Nation. My family's the Wolf Clan, and the role of our clan is to ensure that we never leave anyone behind.
Awesome.
And I see that here tonight.
Yes.
That spirit of not wanting to leave anyone behind. And when I think about Alex Pretti, I think about my namesake, my Sandy Whitehawk, who was cared for by Alex Pretti just a few weeks ago, who talked about how kind he was, how gentle he was, how he made her laugh, and that ultimately he was a healer. And so all of us in this moment, we have our occupations, but what I want us to think about is what our vocations may be in this moment. Because that's right, because for Alex, as a healer, he did that everywhere he went. When he was on his shift, when he was in the streets, when he was looking out for our sister and he said, "Are you okay?" That his vocation was on full display. And so as Minnesotans in this moment, when people have underestimated us, they do not know that our vocation every day as we live and we breathe is to care for each other, to stand up for our neighbor, to be unwavering in our love for our fellow man or woman or person in this time. And so I know that you are tired. I know that you are exhausted, and I will say what Alex has taught us is that this isn't a sprint and it's not even a marathon.
That's right.
This is a relay, friends.
Yeah.
And so that we do the work until we cannot do it, and then we pick it up and we continue to do the work for each other. So please take care of yourselves and take care of your spirits. And know that what the federal government, what the Trump administration has laid upon our doorstep, long after ICE and CPB is out of our streets, there will be need for restoration and for healing. And that our expectation is that will be delivered here to the people of Minnesota, because we are going to fight for it, because we will continue to look out for one another and to ask for what we need and for what we deserve. In the name of Alex and everyone else that we have lost, but for that fighting spirit, for the healers who work in this building every single day. So please, take care of yourselves and take care of your spirits. We've got one another. We will hold one another up. Thank you for sharing your friend Alex with all of us. Shim Miigwech.
Thank you. Okay. Listen, brothers and sisters, at this time I want to bring our own National Vice President of Women's Affairs Practices up. He is one that's fighting for civil rights for all across this country. And so, Brother Dr. Kendrick Robertson is going to come at this time and give a word. And after that, we're going to have a council member to come, okay?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Alex was one of our members at AFGE, as you all know, and seeing him killed the way in which he was killed and all of that, it was so infuriating for all of us. And just like all of you, we sat here and we kept questioning, why is this happening? We kept questioning, why is this happening? We kept trying to figure out why this administration keeps creating the conditions for these things to occur. Because if we point the finger where it needs to be pointed, this administration continues to put us in conditions, not just here in Minnesota, but all across the country, that makes this not work, that puts our people in jeopardy, that has our people killed. And we are going to keep fighting, because one thing is for sure, we know that this administration has been trying to traumatize the federal workforce since they've been in office. And that's not just my words, right? Their leader of their Office of Management and Budget, Russell Vogt, he got up there and he said in his own words, we got him in HD, he said he wants to traumatize the federal workforce. He said he wants them to wake up each day and not want to go to work because they are increasingly viewed as the villains. And he wants to put us in trauma. Now, I don't know about you, but anybody who has a goal to villainize and to traumatize, that sounds like evil to me. Let me hear you say evil. Evil. And so, one of the things that we have to remember is that even though Alex was killed, we're not going to replace him with just one of us. We're not going to replace him with two of us. We'll never replace Alex, but we're going to fill in these spots. We're going to do this relay like they said earlier. It won't be just one of us. It won't be just two of us. It won't be just 10 of us. It won't be just 100. It won't be just 1,000. It won't just be 100,000. There will be millions of us that will come up and show up everywhere, every day to make sure we stand up and fight against this administration. We are not going to back down. We are not going to give up. We are going to keep working and keep fighting until we can see justice for everyone in this country. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you. At this time, we are very fortunate to have a council member here, Soren Stevenson. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part.
Thank you. My name's Soren Stevenson. I am the Minneapolis City Council member in Ward 8, which is where Alex lived. I never had the privilege of knowing Alex, but I do know two things. Before I was elected, I was an AFSCME member, and so I know public employees, and I know that the floor would fall out from under us if we didn't have our public employees and we didn't have the unions that represent them.
That's right.
The work that you and that we do is absolutely vital for people's lives to move forward. We saw this with Alex being in the ICU. I saw it working on the streets with homeless people. The floor would fall out from people who need us the most. And so I see your labor, and I see what Alex was doing, and we need more of that in this country. The other thing I know is I know nurses. In 2020, I was shot by a Minneapolis police officer with a rubber bullet, and I lost my left eye. And so I spent a little time in the ICU myself. And as I was laying there in the middle of the night, it was during COVID, and so my family couldn't come visit me. As I was laying there, it was a male nurse who washed my body down and who comforted me, and I said, can I please hold your hand? And he reached out, and we just held hands for a little bit, because that's what I needed. And I know that Alex was doing that day in and day out for his patients. You could see it in his final moments. You can see it in a sort of video that has been made public so far. This is the kind of love, this is the kind of care that he was giving to our veterans. Yeah. And it feels like we simply cannot go on without him. That's right. It does feel that way. Yeah. And in a certain way, we did lose. We lost something so precious. And so the tapestry that Alex was a part of, it is torn. But we have a chance now to repair that tapestry with something a little different, but something still beautiful, but imbued with pain. And that's us stepping forward and saying the love that Alex brought forward, the care that Alex brought forward, I can do one step of it. I can't do all of it, We can't make up for him entirely. But each one of us, we can take one more step, one more thing. Whether it's joining one more observing shift, or whether it's loving a little deeper our patients in the VA. We can do one more thing, and together, if we get hundreds of us to take one more step of love, one more step of care, we won't replace this world that Alex made so great, but we'll still have a loving and beautiful tapestry between all of us that is going to get us through this time, and that is going to ultimately make us win against these fucking fascists. And it's that love that's going to get us through, and it's that love that is going to have us caring for each other long after they're gone. So thank you for having me, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Okay, we are very fortunate again. We want to go back to one of our co-workers, Angela Carella. Angela? Did I say that? Huh? Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to try to talk loud. I'm a really quiet person. Not really. So Alex was my friend. Alex was my coworker. I'm sorry. Alex was my friend. Alex was my coworker. We worked a lot of long night shifts together. Alex was really passionate about human rights, and he lived that and talked that. We had lots of conversations about what Alex felt about things. He showed up for his coworkers. You know, we work in an environment that can be hard. We take care of some of the sickest people, and we do that because we want to. We want to take care of those people, and Alex showed up for those people. I was shocked to see my face with Alex in that video on the internet. I'm thankful that we have that moment captured. We don't always know the impact we're having on people when we go and do, you know, our daily job and our daily career and our thing that we care about. But I'm telling you that the amount of people that have reached out to me personally and to my friends and family, people care. And it's so nice that you have done that. I didn't know how we were going to get through this week. It's been devastating, horrifying, terrible, all the things that you can imagine. And yet we're still taking care of the sick people. But you know what happened? Everyone showed up for us. We got cards and gifts and of food, coffee, candy, notes, flowers. Every day when we come in, there's something more that someone's saying, thank you, keep your head up, you know, thank you for doing this. Alex meant a lot to us, and I know he meant a lot to you. And all of those little hugs from you all that have lifted us has got us through this week. I don't know where we were going to be. It was really difficult to come to work, and we love our job. We do it because we like to, and we want to take care of people, and that's what Alex did, and that's what Alex wanted to do. And I can't thank you enough. The different ICU families that have reached out to. I wanted to quote one of the cards. I think it was Regents ICU, and I'm sorry to not name you all personally. I know, like, the University of Minnesota ICU teams and Fairview and Essentia and Masonic and Regions, and everybody has reached out. And you know, you think of that like just a small gesture, but to us, that was just a hug. It was a kindness, and you didn't have to do it, and you did it. And I thank you so much. And what the person said on the card, sorry, 1 second. I'm a little nervous. The person wrote, and they didn't leave their name, so thank you to who wrote this to us. The bonds we form in healthcare are unique and irreplaceable. We see the worst of the worst together. We support our patients and each other through some of the most challenging times. So when something tragic happens to one of us, we all feel it. This is how we make it through together. And that's the truth. The truth is, with you guys here, keeping Alex's voice, his cares, he lived to help others, and that's what he did. And we were so fortunate to know him and have him as a friend and care for him intimately on a daily basis. We relied on him, and he relied on us, and that's our family. And we're broken without him, and we miss him. And I just thank you all.
Angela, all right. We have another co-worker here, Josh Green, who is the Sergeant at Arms for the local union here. Give Josh a hand as he comes. All right, Josh.
All right, thank everyone for coming tonight. I did know Alex Pretti on a somewhat personal level as a colleague of his, but I'm choosing tonight to read the words of one of his coworkers that knew him just a little bit better than I did and unfortunately could not be here. Alex. I knew Alex only through our lengthy conversations at work over the last few years. We did not spend time together outside of these walls, both being introverted and proud of the space we created between work and home. But we did dream together about our ideal world in the wee hours of the night or our task-filled nature of the day shift. Alex was curious about everything, curious about what blend of coffee I had, curious about language, curious about the environmental impact of AI, curious about the best hikes in and out of town, curious about the bikes of Amsterdam and learning that the Twin Cities are considered North America's Little Amsterdam because they're completely connected by bike paths. Curious about all the intricate workings of the heart and how it heals on both objective and subjective levels. Curious about the long-term side effects of caffeine on the central nervous system, which would immediately send us to diving into PubMed to prove to one another that we could justify our obscene consumption of black coffee. Curious about how long it took to get non-canteen sushi for lunch. Curious why so many of us complained about not having time to sit because he insisted on his workers' rights for himself. He'd say, "I got this, just go take a break." Alex and I both worked in cancer research, though in very different capacities. We were both musicians. We discussed the impact of music on activating the parasympathetic nervous system in clinical trials for late-stage cancer. Alex may not have been a millennial, but he certainly had some Gen X DNA. He was an informed and socially conscious idealist, but colored with a touch of Gen X's staunch persistence, realism, self-reliance, and work-life balance. As an ICU nurse, there are so many micro moments that slow time to a standstill and frame a shift. When words elude us, you could count on Alex to find the silver lining. The man who could find peace before the dust settled. Alex candor both ground a situation and simultaneously could disarm it. His ability to negotiate difficult situations with a simple "hell yeah," or "you got this," or "this is a mess and I need help," appealed to my Dutch directness. No fluff, no hand-holding, no overly wrought emotional disposition that would ultimately make me uncomfortable. Alex could read the room and, with silent negotiation, move a situation from a proper dumpster fire to an ambient embers with one subtle, understated comment or act of kindness. We spent hours unpacking our love for dogs and pets that we have lost and still mourn, our love for the outdoors, and the solemn moments accompanied on a long hike or bike ride. Our mutual hatred of inflammatory, ill-informed news, admitting that we would often change the channel in the patient's rooms given the opportunity. Alex never shied away from political banter with patients or colleagues, but Alex's perspective would occasionally force others to consider their own cultural paradigms. We spent time unpacking Kantian ethics and deontological principles of treating others the way you'd want to be treated. Far from more popular theological arguments neither of us subscribe to, though we both did admit that the beauty of the world must have been designed by a woman. I always told Alex that he would have been an incredibly gifted educator, and he would smirk and say, "Nah, I'll just precept. This is a hobby." Alex didn't research the unknown to be smarter than those around him, or to change people's minds or hearts. His intellectual curiosity was an intrinsic part of who he was, anchored in his DNA. Alex spent time researching and learning about where to find the world's most beautiful autumn foliage, tumor plasticity, and the environmental impact of cancerous cells, both holding equal importance in his world. Alex was genuinely my intellectual touchstone at work, and I looked forward to our unexpected conversations. And this was the poetry of Pretti, an unassuming intellectual and inevitably flawed man, an unwavering advocate of justice and equity, and unimaginably generous and dedicated neighbor and colleague to those in his presence. He was the consummate example of strength and truth in solidarity, a sentiment that was never false for him. The last conversation I had with Alex was on a night shift, him sitting in his signature black scrubs with his feet up on the candy drawer. We discussed dogs, being an aunt or uncle, and where we'd have the most modest home if we had won the Powerball. Alex had found a dog on Pet Finder. He just wasn't quite ready to adopt or rescue again after losing Jewel, his dog, but found that looking helped his heart heal more each day. We talked about our top 5 places that we would like to live, and they were all centered around the proximity to his family and to outdoor adventures. We discussed our love for being an aunt and uncle. Alex wasn't flashy, and he didn't subscribe to capitalist ideology. He was grounded in his love of community and justice. I will miss Alex. I will miss him popping into the 5 in 5 meeting just a little too late to go unnoticed. I will miss his witticism and his signature phrases. I will miss his colorful skill in redirecting a confused patient. I will miss seeing him unpack the inner workings of bedside nursing to new students making their way through clinical rotations. I will miss his uncanny ability to qualify the feeling of flipping back and forth between days and nights, something only a handful of us still do. I will miss him humble bragging about his great vasculature as I have to pull out an ultrasound to place an IV in a patient. But I will mostly miss his legacy of earnestness and advocacy on all levels for his patients, his beliefs, his neighbors, his family, Mother Nature, science, music, and all contributing factors that make the world a more just and more beautiful place to live in. Thank you for being a hero, the hero you were and continue to be for the people around the world. We didn't think we'd ever lose you that day, but your legacy of resistance in community is not lost on us. You've inspired and motivated the entire world with your final words. Are you okay? We are not okay. Thank you for remembering us. It's our job to mobilize and make things okay. We will resist and rise in power in honor of your legacy you leave behind. I hope you find a peaceful rest and a healed heart. Goodbye, my dear friend, Kelly.
Can we have another colleague, Jessica? Jessica, would you come, please? Okay.
I will try to keep this brief because I know in Minnesota fashion, nobody can feel their toes. So hello, my name is Jessica Hauser. I hold the distinct honor of being Alex's final nursing student. I would love to stand here and tell everyone Alex and I had an immediate, unique bond. Maybe we did, but my gut is just telling me he just had a way of making everyone feel lucky enough to make them feel special and be his friend. Alex taught me that nursing is more than the skills and knowledge we carry into a room. It is the presence we bring with us once we enter it. He told me the ICU is a no panic zone. Panic is rarely helpful, especially in medicine. He said, it's sometimes, if something feels overwhelming, just pause, breathe, calm yourself. You will find that clarity waits just beyond that first rush of fear. Give yourself the space to respond instead of react. He told me nurses bring steadiness in moments of fear and uncertainty. Long after your shift ends, patients will remember how you made them feel. We saw his presence shine in his final moments, helping a woman from the ground, his arm around another. It is felt most deeply in the voices of the patients who have come forward, sharing stories of his compassion and those gentle, meaningful connections he created through the simplest acts of his care. He would be so proud to see us following his guidance in the wake of his death, the way communities have come together to grieve in a steady, calm, joy-filled, supportive way. How we stood up for peace and justice with focus and strength, just as he always did. Alex always was cheering me on. He knew even before I did when I was ready to learn something new. He would smile, his head half cocked, and say, Jessica, you're up. My final shift before graduating, I asked him, how will I remember all of this without you there helping me? Can I shrink you somehow and take you with me? He laughed, as he often did, and told me he has given me all his best advice. I was ready, but I could always call him. He would be there. Alex, you may not be here in person, but your presence is felt. Thank you for understanding and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. I don't know if you can hear us, but we understand now it is our turn to carry on your service. Thank you for the impact you had, not just on my life, but on the lives of countless others. Your name has been spoken all over the world, from Minnesota to the halls of Congress, as a shining example of sacrifice and service. I know you would smile at that. Others have learned what those of us who knew you already knew. You were a good friend, a good neighbor, and a good nurse. Your light will be our beacon as we continue your tour of justice and healing. Thank you.